G'day, Shah here once again with Four Wheels on the Road. One of the most important parts of your vehicle in terms of adjustments and regular maintenance is your tyres. Today we're down here with our good friends at City Rubber Tyres More to talk about why tyre pressure is important in different situations and how to get the most out of your tyres. So let's go take a look. G'day Ben, how are you?
I'm good.
We just wanted to come down today and have a bit of a chat to you about tyre pressures for your vehicle and how to get the longest life out of your tyres as well.
Yep.
Think you can help us out with that today?
Certainly can.
Lovely, let's take a look.
All right.
All right, so the first thing we wanted to take a look at today, Ben, was just tyre pressures in different situations. I know that there's sort of legal requirements and whatnot that you've got to look after, and it's generally on the side of the tyres, but can you give us some indicators of different pressures to use in different situations?
The official answer is placarded pressure. So the placard is normally inside the driver's door. It'll have the tyre size, the factory fitted size, and the recommended pressure from the manufacturer.
Yep.
But that's also recommended for the factory tyres, for the factory car, without all the upgrades and without all the extra weight that it probably is carrying, which most guys do, tow or carry weight.
Fair enough.
So in reality, it's not correct. And it also varies on the size of the vehicle, the weight the vehicle's carrying, the size of the tyre, and even tread pattern.
Right.
And also what you're doing.
Okay, so it's a complex issue.
Getting too complicated.
Yeah.
A typical dual cab, 4-drive, Navara, Hilux, Ranger, even like a wagon, like a Prado or a Pajero.
Yep.
Most of them are running a 17 or an 18 from factory aftermarket.
Yep.
If you're running a normal all-terrain, you probably want to run around 40.
Yep.
With an aggressive all-terrain, such as the Yokohama XAT, or a muddy, like the Yokohama GW03, you actually want to run slightly less. We run about 36.
Right.
The aggressive tread pattern seems to wear a bit better with a slightly less pressure, and that's around town every day. If you are loaded up, like a lot of these utes do have toolboxes or compressors, or because they use them for work as well, you can increase the rear pressures. Most of those aftermarket tyres are light truck. So in the rear, you might run 45, 50, 55, 60, depending if you're carrying 2, 3, 4, 500 kilos. A little bit of common sense comes into that, but you still run around that 40-ish in the front, again, depending on tread pattern.
Okay, and that's just for the road. How about if you're sort of doing sand
Off-road,
driving?
yep. So most people will let them down to around 18 or 20 off-road. 18 to 20 seems to be good for slow, controlled, not too fast beach work or rock work.
Yep.
You can let them down to like 8, 10, 12 if you do get stuck or it's really, really boggy and you're towing a big trailer. You can let them down to get through, and then most of the time when you get through, then you just pump them back up again.
Right, and the goal of that, is it to get sort of more tyre out here?
No, actually the tyre does bulge a little bit this way, but it actually extends this way.
Ah, right.
So it does get more rubber on the road or on the surface, but everyone believes it's the bulge this way. It does a little bit, but the actual footprint here, you can see my fingers are touching there, but when you let them down, it'll probably be about there. So it does increase the surface area. And
is there any sort of danger to the tyres if you forget to pump them up when you go back on the road?
So basically the tyre pressure helps dissipate the heat.
Yep.
So you want to, as soon as you sort of can, realistically, is pump them back up to the normal pressure. If you do let them down to that 8 or 10 or 12 if you are stuck, try to pump them back up to that 20. If you let them down to like 18 to 20 and you get onto the hard beach and you tend to be speeding and doing 80 or 90 or 100 down the beach, which you're not allowed to do because it is a gazetted road, a tyre at 18 or 20 is good for 30, 40, 50, maybe 60 kilometres an hour.
Yep.
Once you start getting up over that, they get hot and you can actually feel them, and that's actually starting to wear your tyres, not to mention destroy your fuel economy. So it's a little bit all over the place, but the short version is, depending on the tread pattern, you want to run high 30s to like 40 for a normal 4-drive. If you're carrying weight, increase the rear. When you're off-road, let them down to about 18 to 20. You can let them down to less if you do get sort of stuck or it is really rough, but you want to then probably bump them back up to that 18 or 20. There's no rule, there's just guidelines.
And in terms of keeping the tyre pressures at that tyre pressure we were talking about earlier, That'll get longer life out of your tyre?
Yeah, so you want to run the correct tyre pressure. If you run a bit lower, which tyre placards tend to be lower pressures, they tend to be sort of low to mid 30s, the tyre creates more drag. Creating more drag creates more heat, which wears your tyres out, and it also decreases your fuel economy. Right. So running a slightly higher pressure within reason, depending on the situation, you actually reduce the heat, so you get longer tyre life, and also improve your fuel economy. Now it's only by 3, 4, 5%, but 3 or 4 or 5% over, these will last 80, 90, 100 plus thousand Ks, which is 4 or 5 years. Over those 4 or 5 years is hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
All right, well, thanks very much for sharing that information with us, Ben. It's been good to get the inside scoop.
Not a problem.
It's been great to get all that information from your perspective, and hopefully it's given you guys out there something to think about and been helpful to you. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share the channel. I really do appreciate that. And we'll see you next time we get 4 wheels on the road.